Sometimes camp systems, especially in their initial stages, take inspiration from systems instituted in other countries.
She explained to Trump why he was basically building concentration camps. Trump said that she should go ahead with building the camps, which he thought was exactly the right thing to do.
For instance, at the turn of the 20th century in the Philippines, the U.S. was putting down an insurrection. America had won the Spanish-American War of 1898 and had taken over Spanish territories abroad. The U.S. apparently promised independence to the Philippines. If it had done so, as the Philippines claimed, it reneged on that promise and wound up with a fierce rebellion on its hands, just as the Spanish had had before them. The U.S. had plenty of brutal domestic history against Native Americans and enslaved people.
The American soldiers arrived thinking that they were really going to educate these people, and a lot of them equated the Filipinos with blacks, Negroes, and they looked down on many of them.
But at that point, as a country, we had no experience running overseas camps. And it was recent history in Cuba, the existence of concentration camps there, that America looked to as it expanded into the Philippines. Spanish camps for civilians in Cuba, known as Reconcentración, had been a core reason that the U.S. had gone to war against Spain in the first place.
Their plight became daily fodder for William Randolph Hearst and Joseph Pulitzer, who beat the drums of war to build their newspaper empires.
But we unfortunately repeated that history at our first opportunity. Similarly, in China, after the Chinese Revolution of 1949, Mao adopted remolding individuals through hard labor as a national policy in ways that very much echoed the reforging concept that the Soviet Union had embraced in building its concentration camp system, the Gulag.
Laogai camps were technically just for work and re-education through labor, if you will, and there were rules that prevented the camp officials from torturing and abusing the prisoners. However, the rule set was purely technical, and creative camp leaders were able to torture prisoners who didn't fill their daily work quota with tricks like tying them to bamboo poles and exposing them to mosquitoes and elements without ever actually hitting them.
Years later, when Nikita Khrushchev denounced the cult of personality under Stalin in Russia and began to move the Soviet Union away from the Gulag model, Chinese officials kept up their repressive model, believing they were carrying on the true form of communism.
As The Atlantic reported in 2013, the Laogai camp system didn't exactly go away with Mao. It's indeed survived to modern times, providing a handy workforce with minimal costs.
So cross-border concentration camp influence is real.
That is, if true, obscene. The President of the United States of America signing off with the Chinese president, go ahead and build your concentration camps, locking up this ethnic minority.